So I was doing a historical event on my high wheel bike, or one of them, with a friend a few weeks ago, and a vintage style photographer with a big wooden box camera came over and did a tintype, a few tintypes actually, of us, and this is the one that I kept. It's authentically done, except that instead of using the usual iron sheet backplate, it has just a piece of aluminum. Anyway, I wanted to get it in a frame, but I was feeling too lazy to tool up and make a complete new frame for it. I bought on Amazon a frame that was purportedly able to hold a picture of the size of that tintype, but of course the dimensions were inaccurate. So I futzed around and figured out the best framing. I don't want to cut this thing because I think it'll disrupt or possibly crack the lacquer. And so I've just marked on the frame where I need to open it up a little bit. That's going to cause some complications for the glass, possibly, but I don't want to cut it out that deep, so the glass should still sit in its own little recess, and then the part I cut out will be higher up. Now the backboard, that's another issue. That may or may not be salvageable. It doesn't use the usual points. It uses these swivel out points that are intended to fit into grooves that have been milled into the wood before it was assembled into a frame, and that would be very hard to replicate. So I may have to put in some actual points or make a new back or something. But I'm going to start out and just see if I can route this thing out as simply and easily as possible. I put some painter's masking tape on the face so I don't get it scuffed up, hoping I don't have to repaint this. The trick is going to be to secure this while I'm routing it. It's pretty small, it's going to be hard to clamp down. Anyway, I'm immediately thinking of doing that. We'll have the clamps getting in the way of the router. Well, what do I do when I can't hold down a piece so that I can move a router over it? Clamp down the router and move the piece over it. That's what the router table's for. So I don't need to mask this side because it's not going to show. I've hopefully got the fence and the bit distances and height set correctly. And now I'm going to cut one side and see how it works. Alright, so that worked out fairly well. I had one little glitch here where the end of it went off the space between the left and the right fences. A little bit here too, but mostly here. But that doesn't show, so I don't care. Quick and dirty job. This does drop in there now. That's good. And let's see about the glass. Does it still center in there properly? It does. It seats in there. There's enough of a lip, so that works. Yeah, that's not going to work too great, and I also don't like the fact that there is these deep studs or rivets on the back side of this. This is not worth saving. I'm just going to make a new piece for the back of this and just put it in with normal points. And so I can see my markings on the back of the aluminum. I just found a scrap piece of acrylic that's the right width, and I'll just cut it off there and stick that on as the back plate. Okay, I used my point driver and put in the points, one on each side, and I put a picture hanger on the top. And there's a decent place for it to be displayed. Oops.